Okay, section 12.4, selling stocks. We're going to calculate the profit or loss from the sale of stock. Profit is when the money that you make from selling them is higher than the money that you spent buying them. Loss would be when you sell them, you make less money than when you buy. Each of these figures that you calculate, you're going to have to write profit or loss next to it. So I'm going to show you just a couple of different ways. One, we're just going to compare the numbers. The other way, if you do it the same time every time, or the same way every time, it'll kind of tell you in the signs of the number which one it is, profit or loss. Couple of formulas, we don't really need to know those at this point. So when you buy stock, we had to figure out how much the commission was for the stockbroker. Sometimes that commission was a flat fee. Sometimes it was a percentage of the amount of the stocks sold. So today, kind of same thing. So sometimes for the broker that's helping you to sell your stock, it might be a flat fee. Sometimes it might be a percentage of the number of shares that you have. So this is worded just a little bit differently today. So Bill paid a total of $3,738.43 for 75 shares of Watson Parcel Service, sold the stock for $51.50 a share. Remember that he bought 75 of them. So $51.50 times 75. And then instead of adding the commission on, we're going to take it off. What happens is they're going to mail you a check for whatever the amount is that you're selling these for, but they also want to get their money first. So they're going to take your check and make it just a little bit smaller so that two checks don't have to be made out. So they would pay one to you and then you would have to pay one back for a smaller amount. Instead of doing that, they just take it off the top, basically. So $51.50 times 75 is $3,862.50. Then we know we have to subtract out the commission. And you get $38.27.55. Now, these amounts are different from the book because in the book, I think they had $39.45. I went $34.95, so they are a little bit different. Just in case you notice that the answers aren't the same. So if you take what you sell it for and subtract out what you bought it for, $37.38. 43. It's going to kind of tell you if you made money or lost money. Now, 3,700 versus 3,800 obviously is bigger, right? 3,800 is bigger. So this person actually made money. You can just do it like that, where you just compare the numbers and go, the selling price is more than what you bought it for. They must have made money. That is fine. You don't have to do it any certain way if you're just comparing the numbers. I'm subtracting them. So this person made $89.12. Now, if you subtract, oops, I grabbed my little screen. If you subtract them like I did, where you're taking the amount you sold it for and subtracting the amount you bought it for, if you get a positive number, it's a profit. If you get a negative number, it's a loss. Okay, you can also just compare them. That totally works as well. So always subtract the sales commission off of there. Let's see. I think that's all I wanted to tell you about these. So these are a little bit more of the basic ones. So what I'm looking at having you guys show me is what's the price they're selling it for, and then what's the total. If it's a flat fee, I don't need to know what the commission is because there's not anything that you have to calculate. There is one that's a little harder, and we're going to do number 12 together, and that is part of your assignment up here. So grab your paper and let's do number 12. If I don't have enough room on this, I will do another sheet. Okay, I should be okay. So we're going to do number 12. Or no, maybe it was 14. Let's do 14. I'm going to do the same one I did this morning. Okay, so number 14. Alfredo bought 2,000 shares of a phone company stock at $36.50 a share. So on this one, even though we're focusing on how much it sells for, they didn't tell us how much it was bought for either. So we kind of have to do both of them. So I'm going to put this one in, I'm going to just label it buy. So 2,000 shares times $36.50 a share. $73,000. It'd be nice to write out a check for buying stocks for that, right? Now we have to figure out how much commission did this broker get for selling these 2,000 shares. So it says he sold it at $48.25 per share. I'm not going to worry about that yet. And then it said each transaction paid a sales commission of $49.95 plus 2 cents per share. So the wording is different when they sell versus when they buy. When they buy, they might get a percentage of the cost of the stocks. When they sell, they're selling how many shares they have. So with this one, it's 2 cents per share and then $49.95 more than that. So commission equals $49.95 plus 2 cents times 2,000 shares. So here it's multiplied by the number of shares, not an amount that was sold. 0.02 times 2,000 is $40, and we add $49.95 to it. So the commission this time is $89.95. Now, sometimes they have a different commission when they buy versus when they sell. In this problem, it's the same for both of them. So to buy, they had to have $73,000 and add in the commission, because remember, when you buy it, you add it in. So let's keep that one in mind. Then we're going to sell. We're selling at $48.25. So obviously right now, do we know they made money or lost money? They bought them at $36.50. They sold at $48.25. It's more, so they're going to make money. You can kind of look at it that way and kind of have it in your head just to make sure the numbers make sense. So we're going to take 2,000, and they're selling all of the shares. When you buy your own stock, would you have to sell all of it? Not if you didn't want to. Maybe you didn't have more money laying around at home. Maybe you wanted to take part of this and put it into something else. You could do that. So $48.25. $96,500. Now, do we have to recalculate the commission? We don't, because this time it doesn't say that when you buy it, you have to pay this. When you sell it, you have to pay that. It's the same because it says each transaction. You just have to make sure that you add it in when you buy it and you take it out when you sell it. So commission is the same. So we're going to take $96,500 and subtract the commission out. $96,410.05. Okay, so that's A. What is the amount of the sale? What's the profit or loss from the sale? So now we're going to figure that out. 96,410.05 is what we sold it for. 73,089.95 is what we bought it for. Oops. So 23,320.10. Take through that pile. And it was a profit. So what we sold it for was higher than what we bought it for. So that is a profit. And you have to write profit. Don't write plus and minus because it depends on which way you subtract as far as if you get plus or minus. So always take what you sell it for first and then subtract. And if you get a positive number, it's a profit. If you get a negative number, it is a loss then. Sometimes if your stock just keeps plummeting down, you may not be able to just hold on to it and you might have to sell. Sometimes you might have to just ride it out. It might go lower for a little while, but then it might start coming back and you might actually be able to make some money on it anyway. You just kind of have to use your gut and know when to sell, I guess. So that's just another example. 16 and 18 are kind of like this one. There's a little more work involved, so I want you to show your work more so on those. If it's on the other ones, I need, like, for instance, 73,000 and 73,089.95. If they just give you a flat commission fee, I don't need that. And then there's no work that you need on 3 through 8 because it's kind of chart form and they're telling you exactly what they want you to write down. So if you need some help, let me know.